Hi, everyone. Welcome back. First time I got sick this year. Wowzers. It was a big one. Trying to take me out, but I just kept fighting back. So, but I'm so glad you're here tonight with me. This lesson comes straight from the heart and honestly from some of the deep conversations that I've been having with God lately. I've been thinking a lot actually about love, what it really means, um, what it does to us, and how it can affect our mental and emotional health in ways we sometimes don't even realize. Um, what was it earlier that he said to me? We laughed. We have an inside joke about McDonald's. And I said something to the effect of, well, no, I think you put the commercial on purpose. And then I said, loving, as long as it's in the right way or in the right places, right? So, anyway. But now, when we hear the word love, a lot of feelings come up, though, right? For some, it's warmth and comfort. For others, it's pain, confusion, or even loss. And I think that's what makes this such a important topic. We're going to do relaxed style today, though, because I'm still trying to get over this chesty stuff. It was here and then it went to the chest. So forgive me, please. But we can do this together, right? Um, love, it's just beautiful. It can be one of the biggest emotional triggers, but also one of the greatest healers. And I didn't plan this lesson the way I normally do. I It just came to me. I had been healing or feeling, excuse me, down, and out, kind of, sick, even like heavy, really. And I started praying, and then had a conversation. I said, Papa God, what do you want me to teach next? And as I sat quietly, I remembered instantly that He loves it when I do that, just allow Him to choose the topic and the songs. I just keep, feeling His nudges about love lately. He's showing me in so many ways too, reminding me of even, things I loved when I was a kid, certain toys and things that I haven't seen in years, so he's like showing me all the different, from childhood and teen and then to adults. And it wasn't the soft kind of reminder, basically. He showed me one of those deep soul level pictures that makes you go, okay, I hear you. Um, he definitely wanted me to share this. And as usual, I agree with his ideas and love that he helps me put it together. I love how he inspires me and fuels me to, put it all together. I love and how he, um, even fuels me to put my all into my performances. Then I look back and I say, did I just do that? Most certainly, it helps me with my mental health. Very close relationships with your family, starting with your father, or at least mine, and your person you're supposed to be with, and it fuels the love and the encouragement um, your soul needs, right? Reach back and get my water. Got a little bit of dry mouth. It's funny, you take medication for one thing and it gives you another problem. It's like dry mouth. But let's continue. Where was I? I learned after many years how um, how important it is, sorry, to love what you are doing too. So much that it doesn't even feel like a job. And you genuinely put your all into it. When you don't feel like it's work, it is where you want to be and doing what you want. And with so many clear choices, you can create some, beautiful um, things that inspire the same, even in others. I choose a variety and infuse my creativity because I love my audience and want them to feel good too. With the lesson I share and then the, you know, song afterwards, the performance, um, feels good too, right? Um, so today, though, I want to talk about love versus mental health. How long, or excuse me, how love can wound, how it can heal, and how it can help us grow if we let um, it, love positively impacts mental health by reducing stress, for one, but it also relieves anxiety, improving self worth, and increasing resilience through, social support and affection. Um, Healthy relationships provide a sense of belonging and security, which can lower cortisol levels and, increase beneficial hormones like oxytocin. While unhealthy relationships, can have the opposite um, like effect. Self love and self compassion also play a significant role in improving your mental health, your well being, even by decreasing, self criticism and increasing happiness. Let's take a deep breath together. This is harder than I thought because just, getting over this not feeling well thing. It's kind of dragging on, but let's we're taking this deep breath together so we can invite peace into this space. Um, let's start with the truth. Love isn't always um, easy. Sometimes the same love that once gave us joy becomes the thing that breaks our hearts. Um, it could be a relationship that changed, a friendship that faded, or a family member that let you down. And when that happens, um, it doesn't just hurt emotionally, it affects how we think, how we function, and even how we see ourselves. Um, Heartbreak can lead to depression, overthinking, anxious, and even feeling like we're not enough. Because when love is lost, rejected, or betrayed, it shakes the foundation of how we believed were valued. And sometimes love hurts not because people are bad, but because people are broken. We all love um, from the level of our own healing. And that means when someone's hurting, their version of love might come with pain attached. Like people, come in such a variety of looks, thinking, and coping. They even have different experiences and ways to handle even difficult moments. I've experienced those seasons. The kind where you give your heart fully and it feels like it just gets stomped on. And honestly, it can make your, question your worth. Um, but what I've learned, slowly is that even in the heartbreak, there's a lesson. Pain has a way of teaching us boundaries. It um, teaches us to listen. So that quiet voice, will be heard. It's the one inside you that says you deserve peace. You deserve love that doesn't cost you your mind. And when love hurts, that's when God steps in quietly. You not always to remove the pain right away, but to remind us, we're still His. It is His way of practically insisting, that we need to let go of what does not serve us. It is not meant to be, as they say. Whatever it be, the person, the job, or the place you find yourself. And in a relationship that you either don't want or it doesn't want you, if it feels confusing and does not give you genuine peace, like daily with that person, it is not love or your person. We also, um, or he also gives us a roadmap on how to receive the healing of it. It is to make up after a fight, when a friend or a partner, even, uh, if it was a coworker or, the breakup that has been a long time coming, but has to be done so you can head in the direction you are supposed to be going, so you have peace again and not awkwardness, right? A lot of times, when we are hurt, we want to ignore even the very things our own heart wants to tell us, as if it does know what and or who we need more than anyone or anything. And even that, we ignore and having trouble trusting, now, wait a minute. Even our own heart will act like it made a deal with the enemy while we were not paying attention. Um, because come on, that is silly. No one knows like our heart what real love is. Um, or who it is that moves you to sing and with so much soul, and we find ourselves just strutting around the apartment in our underwear. Admit it. You grabbed the hairbrush and used it as a microphone. Um, or you're staring in the mirror in the bathroom, singing boldly while looking back at your performance because it's you and you, right? In stereo. I was thinking about like those ghetto blasters for some reason that came to mind too. But um, anyway, so come on, you know what it feels like to be so certain from head to toe, even from the beginning, what you were when you were just smitten with another. It's more than okay to do all of that. We must have so many other things to worry about later. So allow yourself to have and enjoy those moments. You deserve love, and the kind that makes you want to do things, those sorts of things, and even with the person you are so crazy about. And I bet you if they're your equal, they'll want to do the same things too. um, it's like, oh, wait, bills got to be paid. Let them wait. We're jamming. Now the phone is ringing. Nah, let it ring. We in the zone right now. Come on, we have to get the hell out of here. We got to be going so we are not late. Let's get out the door. Late for what? Not enjoying life? um, Now let's talk about the other side, when love heals. Love can be one of the, most powerful tools for mental and emotional restoration. And it starts not with someone else, but with God and with ourselves. When we begin to understand, how deeply loved we are, not because of what we do, but simply because we exist. Uh, Something within us begins to change. In Corinthians, we read about the way God intended love to be, patient, kind, not jealous or self seeking. It's a love that protects and restores, and His love is always unconditional. It doesn't have a record of our wrongs, it just calls us back home every time we wander. Learning to love ourselves through the same lens is also part of the healing process. Self love isn't pride, it's acceptance. It's the kind that says, I may be a work in progress, but I'm worthy of care. Sometimes our minds can be our toughest critics. But when we start speaking to ourselves with love instead of judgment, our mental health begins to shift. It's not instant, we all know it's a process, like watering a dry plant, but it grows. Love heals through patience, consistency, and compassion. The same way God loves us every single day. I also realized that love, though, even when it's messy, is one of the main ways we grow. Makes me think of that song, Main Chicks. But that's not what I was gonna use for. Kanye West. I want to tell you guys about. So he recently did an interview, and to my surprise, he was quite emotional, and his words were so touching that I thought I would share it, or at least some of it, with you guys. So anyway, he said, don't quote me on it. I'm just paraphrasing here, but if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you must think before you speak, because words can build or destroy the very thing you love. He confessed that some of his own actions and public outbursts built walls between them, walls he wishes he could take down. With deep emotion, I remember Kanye recalling how Kim stood by him when the world turned away. Years ago when he was $52 million in debt and forgotten by many, Kim quietly developed her Kimoji app, earning 80 million, and then transferred 52 million to him to clear his debts. Kim didn't just give him money. Kim or Kanye, explained, she gave him hope when I had none. She believed in me when I didn't believe, in myself. Now worth over 1.3 billion, Kanye says his success wouldn't have been possible without the act of faith and love. His story it isn't just about fame or wealth, finally, it's about loyalty, gratitude, and the irreplaceable value of having someone who believes in you completely. Kanye West's reflection reminds us all that the right partner isn't the one who simply enjoys your success, but the one who helps build it with you. As he put it, I lost a diamond while chasing stars. His story is a powerful reminder, to cherish those who stand by you in your lowest moments because they are the ones who truly deserve, to share your highest ones, right? In the book of John, we learn that God is love, so every experience we have with love, whether it's sweet or painful, can draw us closer, to understanding who He is and who we're, um, I lost my train of thought, forgive me. Let me grab it back. Um, so sorry. So every experience we have with love, whether it's sweet or painful, can draw us closer to understanding who He is and who we're becoming. Love teaches us empathy. It humbles us. It reveals the parts of ourselves that still require healing. Sometimes love leaves, uh, and the loss becomes our teacher. Other times, love strays, and that commitment teaches us endurance. Either way, love shapes us. It reveals what we believe about ourselves, and it tests how we respond under pressure. And if we allow it, love becomes one of the greatest classrooms, for our emotional maturity. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a season where love feels heavy, don't rush the lesson. God is not punishing you, He's teaching you. And if you're in a season of joy and connection, cherish it and let it remind you of how far you've come. In closing, love and the mind, as we close, I want to leave you with this. Love and mental health are deeply connected. The way we love and the way we receive love can either build us up or break us down. The positive impacts of love on mental health includes, it reduces stress and anxiety, healthy relationships, and physical touch. It's one of my love languages anyway, such as, hugging or holding hands or those really good kisses. Release oxytocin and can lower cortisol even levels, the primary stress hormone. It also increases happiness. Um, Love can boost our mind by increasing levels of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. So you get a reward and a reward together. It's like a double duo. It encourages a healthier lifestyle. Loved ones can encourage each other to exercise, to eat well, and to seek medical or mental health treatment. It boosts self worth. Feeling valued, and loved improves um, self worth and provides a sense of security and belonging. It also supports treatment. Loved ones can be a crucial support system for those undergoing treatment for mental illness, helping where adherence and recovery. Love improves your quality of life, um, a sense of purpose, fulfillment. Um, Sorry, I lost my train of thought again. Um, it provides a sense of security, and belonging and support. Um, but it's a crucial part, to those undergoing treatment. Um, I'm sorry, back to a sense of purpose, and fulfillment and emotional connections to others leads to improvement in the well being of all those involved overall, versus now. The negative impacts of unhealthy relationships can be constant criticism, um, manipulation, and gaslighting. Also, controlling things like behaviors, verbal or emotional abuse, which can lead to one of the worst feelings you could have if in what you think is a relationship. And that is isolation from your friends and family, even from the person you are in the unhealthy relationship with. If you're in a relationship where these things are prevalent, it is time to end it. You would be much happier alone, working on yourself or in another relationship where you feel better instantly. The one that's ready to kiss all the boo boos. And you realize you keep going and are lasting and you experience those positive impacts that I have, listed earlier. It also affirms, though, God's love, the one that never fails and can always rebuild. So tonight, whenever you have some quiet time, ask yourself some of these questions. Where in my life do I need love to heal me? Where do I need to show myself more compassion? Or where do I need to release what love was so I can receive what love is meant to be? Let's take a moment to pray together. Father, thank you for showing us that love isn't just about emotion. It's a way of living, thinking, and healing. Um, Help us to love ourselves with grace, to forgive those who've hurt us, and to see love the way you do, not as a weakness, but as a reflection of your strength in us. Bring peace to every heart listening and remind us that your love never ever runs out. Amen. Thank you for spending this time with me. I pray this lesson, even if it was more relaxed this time, brought you even some comfort, um, reflection, or hope, because that's where love is meant, or excuse me, that's what love is meant to do, right? All right, guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.